All right, hello everybody. Just before class this morning, before the webinars, I had a knock on the door, and it was a postman bringing in with a nice big long box here, and it is something I'd forgotten was coming, was expecting, forgot about. It is a new sword from Santosh Weapons up in Canada. Really good, makes excellent quality stuff. And I like it. That seems pretty. I like it when it's easy to unbox like that. So obviously, this is a long sword. It should be a Miaodao Dandao. Just get this off here. I know some people open their packages with a knife. It's a really good way to slit your wrist. Good pair of scissors is much better. Okay, that's that. Tape off. I like that it's a minimal packaging too. Too many packages these days, especially coming from China. They have so much plastic, it's such a, everybody knows that this stuff is going to be around for a long, long time. We should really, let's be honest, we should minimize our use of that plastic stuff. In fact, I may tell them, just put some newspaper on the end, stuff that can rot. Anyway, so now, what do we got? Oh, that's quite nice. All right, so this is his new Miaodao Dandao. Make sure you get back enough so everybody can see the whole thing. I really like this. That's not a separate piece of wood, it's just a nice stain, but I think that's a nice little touch. He does this for those people who haven't seen. This is the center seal there that he puts there for a Great River Taoist Center. That's quite nice little detail. I like that. He burns it in. Probably can't see it very clearly here online, but it's copied right from our seal that we use. Well, this is quite nice. I like this too. A lot of the Miaodao and Dandao that are produced now have a grip basically like that you would see on a Japanese sword, or it's obviously easier and less expensive to make, but it just comes and just ends. I like that it has this pommel because that's a good reminder that we don't hold it like this, the way some Japanese systems do. I'm not trained in Japanese stuff, so if I'm doing it wrong, forgive me. But often they're gripping way down here. We don't do that. We grip above the pommel, and sometimes you're using that pommel for striking or sometimes grappling. So I like that there is that there to kind of remind us. Guard looks really good. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers with a really good, stick that in there for a moment, just so everybody can see that. You see those layers and a pin on each side. So that should really be solid because it's going to certainly take a lot of hits in play. The other thing which you should really notice here is the shape. I sent him this shape, and it is a slightly accelerating curvature. I really like this for cutting. For Miaodao and Dandao, we have to remember that these were not pattern weapons. Even in the late Ming, when these were being probably at their high point in the last 2 dynasties, there was a variety of them, different lengths, hilts of different lengths, blades of different lengths. I've just been doing some research on Qi Guan's Changdao, which was later called the Shuangshou Dao. A lot of people have recreated that form in Korea, and I'm going to recreate it again myself. Just looking at it, it's a very difficult text to go through because there's almost nothing there. It's very, very terse text. But one of the things that's interesting in doing research for that is exactly this question of, well, what was that really like? What was the sword like? Because that changes things quite a bit. What's the length of the grip? What's the length and weight of the blade? And the regulations say, I should say the Korean manual gives it as a 5.5-foot blade with about a 2-foot grip, if I remember correctly. But the thing is, when you look at the illustrations of the form, it's more a weapon about like this, where if I hold it at shoulder level, and it's not going to hit the ground. A 5-foot blade would already be into the ground. So I think this actually is, so that's kind of funny, just about the Shuangshou Dao for a moment. I know I'm digressing here from the unboxing, but it's curious. The illustrations of the form in the manuals, that blade, that sword doesn't look anything like it says it's supposed to be. And if you look at period paintings and you look at the few rare pieces that are left from that period, they're not all uniform in curvature, length, etc. So I think this is a very good size overall. I think this is a 35-inch blade or so. I think that's what he said. He's going to do 35, 36 inches. That's a pretty good length. But also this blade, if you're getting a blade, to get one forged, this is a very, very nice a blade profile, because it's relatively straight here, but with this accelerating curve up here, if you don't get a percussive cut and you're slashing, that adds some cutting efficiency. So I really like this design. It's the design I sent him, so I should like it. How he got that was because the problem of doing that, of course, is the grain. You'd have to find a piece of wood that's grain went this way, and that would be hot. You know, you can, but you can't do that in mass. So he solved that problem by making this a laminate. So he doesn't have to worry about, like you can see, he has different pieces in there, or maybe hopefully you see the color here and here are different. So there are a center plate, which is some construction, like a steel sword. There's a central strip, a center plate, and then there's each side has the outer walls. So that's really good. Should be really, really sturdy. We give it a good whacking, and we'll see. Feels good. Balance feels good. That box out of the way. Yeah, this one's a bit light. He told me it came out a little bit light at first. That's great. I like to have some swords that aren't, this should be about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, even up to 4 pounds. That's a heavy one. 3 pounds is plenty, but it's nice to have a lighter one like this. I will definitely be using this sometimes in my own practice if it's been a long day. Sometimes at the end of the day, before I'm going to bed, before I jump in the shower for the evening, I might say, if I'm thinking about something, I may come in here into the wuguan and want to just do a few more movements and see how, if I'm thinking about something, or if I'm preparing for a presentation or a seminar or one of the webinars, I like to come in the evening and just, do a couple of movements, or maybe just 15, 20 minutes before I go to bed. I don't really want to get all sweaty. I don't maybe want to swing at the end of the day at 10, 11 o'clock at night maybe. I don't want to start swinging a heavy sword. So I like having a lighter one like this for training, and it's really good, I think, for beginners when they come in to have one like this. It's properly balanced, that's important, but not full weight, so they don't strain themselves, don't hurt their elbows or whatever when they're first starting out. But overall, quite nice. Quite nice. I like the curvature, I like the blade profile, feels balanced right, sturdy. And again, I like the staining of that just to, make it stand out a little bit, look a little bit different. So there you go. Santosh is new. This is the prototype. I think we're going to probably see more come from him. He's been doing great stuff with Jian and Dao up in Canada. I'll definitely send people out the link for his thing. You can find him on Facebook, or Face Crook, as I like to say. There you go.